Hey guys, what's up? It's Alex, and in this video I decided I'd make a tutorial on how to build one of my favorite house designs. Now this is a design that I've been building for about 2 years. I don't know where I made it. I made it a long time ago, but it's very faithful. It's easy to make. It's a nice looking house, and it's really easy to get started up with in survival. So the interior of this house is pretty small, but it's nice and cozy. There's plenty of space to put chests and stuff, and I usually put my beds upstairs in the little second floor that you saw on the outside of it. Anyway, without much more to say on this house, let's get straight into how to build it. Alright guys, what we have here is the basic layout of our house. Now, our house is going to be 13 by 9 blocks, so 13 high and 9 wide, and it's in this kind of P shape. Now, I've laid it out in black and white, so you can kind of count on screen if you need to, and the red points are where we're going to be putting our logs for the foundation of the house. So make sure you mark those out. You don't have to mark the ones in between, but make sure you mark out the red points on this. That's the most important part of this step. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some kind of log. We're going to take some kind of wood. Let's say spruce. Spruce will look good. And we're going to just plop one on each of these. Now this is important because we need to have this basic shape, this basic letter P shape on our house. And this is basically what's going to create the walls of the house. So we're going to take each one of those up by 3 as well. So in total they're 4 high. So let me quickly do that. So after raising up all the beams or all the logs, whatever you want to call it, your house should look like this. There should be 4 high in total, and there should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different pillars in total. So if you need to go back and pause the video, go ahead and do so. But I'm going to continue on to the next step. Now this step involves laying out the base for the walls. Now this isn't hard, we're just going to literally fill in here with cobblestone. Now we do this all the way around, and you'll see why. You can compare it to the end product, and you can see this is like the trim for the house. It kind of just, gives the house a nice rustic feeling. This is kind of very essential when you come to building this kind of old medieval style house. You see it a lot. We're actually going to leave a gap here because this is going to be our door. Now, what I've actually done is I haven't actually marked this out, but the door always comes off the bottom of the top part of the P. If that makes any sense at all, it's probably really confusing, but just here's an aerial view of the house if you need it, and the door is where it's marked in the white stained clay. So once we have the bases for our walls in, we need to fill in the rest of them using planks. Now, not the middles, but just the sides of the walls. We go over and we do this. Now, we're actually going to spare this wall for now. We're not going to do anything with it. Actually, we'll just fill it in all the way with wood. We're not going to leave a gap in the middle, but we're going to leave gaps in the middle for all the other ones. And you'll see why. It's actually for the windows. So we'll just go around the house and we'll put these in. So this house does require a lot of wood if you're building it in survival, but it is very rewarding being able to live in such a little tiny but good looking house with minimal effort. Actually, it's not that hard to make. It's just the wood requirement of this house is pretty insane. So once we have the walls in like this, what we're going to do is we're going to bridge across these pillars like this with our original logs. So we're going to come across like that, come across like this. We're going to go do that over all of the supporting beams. So we're going to do this all over the house, just around the outside. So it's again like the trim with the cobblestone. You're kind of just connecting 3 blocks between each pillar. It's not very hard, and this will basically form the basis for the. You don't actually see this part, but it is there. You can see some of it. So what you could do is potentially replace these blocks here with just wood if you are running low on wood, but I find it easier to just build straight across because it's pretty straightforward and you don't have to worry about replacing blocks. So what we're going to do now is we're going to choose our glass. Oh, I almost forgot, we have to fill in this part like this. This is just the doorway. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to choose our glass, and I'm just going to choose the glass pane because they're easy to make in survival. You get a lot of them and they look good. So again, we're just going to go through and fill out all these windows. This is a pretty easy part, just filling out the walls of the house, not making it too bland. We'll get on to the roof next, but for now, okay, we're done. So this is the tricky part. The roof is it follows a basic pattern though, so it's not too difficult. So I'll show you what that is now. We're going to get some stairs. We're going to use the same stairs that we use for the wall, or you could use a lighter color. It doesn't really matter, but The basic pattern is this. You go like this, so you kind of make it one going up and one going down, right on top of each other, and you kind of do that all the way around on these corners. So just like this. It's not hard, but it does get a bit more complicated. But this pattern we will repeat on the top of the house, the top story of the house as well. So memorizing this is pretty crucial. Now we're gonna do it here as well. We're not gonna worry about this part yet, but we will in a bit. Now this is where it gets a bit tricky. What we're gonna do is we're gonna make them upside down here. So it's gonna look, there's gonna be this disparity between this block here and this block here, but it will look fine in the end. So we're gonna go around and put them upside down between the ones that are the right way up, just like this. So it should give this like lumpy effect to it, but it does look good in the end. So just hear me out, guys. So we're gonna go around and just place all of these. Missed one. All right. Now this is a bit of a tricky part. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna place these the right way up. Oops, just like this in this part, and this is what's gonna form our kind of little veranda kind of area, and it's gonna be like the roof for that. So we're gonna need some slabs. We're gonna need the same block as the roof, and we're just gonna build them out like this, all the way out. But we're gonna miss this corner block here. Now that's important because what we're gonna do instead of that is we're going to take a block down like that. So it should kind of just drip down, and then we'll take another block. Actually, I'll make that cobblestone, and we'll just take a fence or something like that, and this will basically just be the beam that holds up the rest of the house. So what you can do now is you can just sit back and look. Your house should look something like this. If it doesn't, you should probably go back and watch a bit of the video that you might have missed. But now what we're going to do is we're going to just fill in this little veranda area, and then we'll get started on the second floor. So to do the veranda area, we just need some cobblestone walls, and that's about it. So we're just going to do that, and that's pretty much it. We'll put a door on it. Let's just get the basic wooden door for now. Spice it up later if needed. Now, there is meant to be a fireplace here, but I'm not going to include that until the very end, and you'll see why. It's much easier to build at the very end than it is to build halfway during construction. Anyway, let's move straight on to the roof. Alright, for the roof, what you're going to want to do is just go around the outside again with these stairs and just create a trim on top of these blocks here. So we're just going to go like this, and just go around like that. It's very easy. This is a pattern that you see in making a lot of houses, just going around the outside with stairs like this. But we're only going to do one layer of this. So we're just going to go around gently like this and not misplace any blocks. Perfect. So you can see the roof's already starting to take shape, which is great. But what we have to do now is we actually have to place some blocks in to get the second story underway. So what we're going to do for that is we're going to place a block here, a block here, and then we're going to go over here and find out where we need to place it, just here. So it should make a square, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wide. So this is the second story. Now, this story pretty much just mimics the design of the first one. So we're going to need the original supporting beam, and we're also going to need the cobblestone again. So we're not going to finish the roof until we start on this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to build up 4 blocks like we did on the first level, but this time we're only doing it in a square shape, so there's a lot less room to work with, but it also the fireplace right after we've done the roof for this place. So once again, just go around the outside with the upside down stairs and we'll be fine. So, and then again, we're going to copy what we did last time for the previous floor and go around the middle with these logs as a guide. And we're just going to place the stairs the right way up this time. Just around the outside like this. And then to finish it all off, all we have to do is go up by half a block with these slabs. And just fill in the square. That's all we have to do. So this is going to be the top, this is going to be the final layer in the house. And what we're going to do is then we're going to go back on the inside, work on that, and we're also going to add the fireplace first. So let's get straight onto that. So if you've gotten this far in the tutorial, this is what your house should look like by now. Anyway, let's add the fireplace. Now this is a bit complicated, but what I like to do is I like to take some cobblestone and some stairs and some slabs. Now this fireplace will burn your house down if you actually light it, so I don't suggest doing that unless you have fire tick off. But what I like to do is I actually like to take out this block here, and I like to put some kind of block there just to indicate that there's a fire there. Usually netherrack, but like I said, you will burn your house down if you do this in survival, so just be careful. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do this. We're going to do that, and then we're going to put a stair block like this and a stair block like that. So it should look like that, and then we can do that, and then just like that. So this is our basic fireplace shape, and what we're going to do is we're actually going to find the block over here, I think. Just, yeah, over here. Oop, I was wrong. It was actually over there. Oop. Alright, so we're actually going to find the block over here. This does stuff up. Now, to fix that, all you have to do is just reposition the stair like that. So we're going to bring it up about 3, and then we're going to get a slab, and I like to take a stone slab because I think it looks nice, and just place it right here. And that's the chimney for our fireplace. Now, what we're going to do is we're actually going to fix it up on the inside too. So you can see at the moment it's kind of like yuck. So what I actually do is I replace this whole wall with cobblestone, just because it looks nicer with the fireplace. I mean, you can leave it as wood if you want, but I generally just replace the whole wall with cobblestone. And I put these here just for good measure. So that's pretty much what I do with the fireplace on the inside. And from the outside it doesn't look too bad either. So if we take a step back, you can see the fireplace extrudes from the roof, which looks pretty nice. Okay, so now we're on the inside of the house, and this is looking very empty. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to replace the floor with something lighter than what we've used for the outside. So I like to use birch wood planks, because honestly birch is one of my favorite colors of wood, but it also works very, very well for a flooring of the house. So we're going to just go all the way here, remove all of these grass blocks, and we're just going to put birch in it, and I'll come back once that's done. Alright, so the floor on the inside's done except for one part, which we can fix up now with the door. I like to make this the same block, and we'll just make it flush with the wall like that. So now the floor's done. Now we're going to go up here, and we're going to do the same thing, and we're going to drop down one block below this cobblestone just here, and we're going to place some flooring here, because this is again going to be the floor for the second level. And then we'll place the ceiling for the first level right below this, and we'll also do the ceiling for the second level while we're at it. So this shouldn't take long. This is really just filling in this little tiny layer down here with birch. Right, and then what we'll actually do is we'll break this block here that's orienting just the last wall of the house, the furthest wall from the door. And we're actually going to build up with logs just here. We're going to extrude this one out by one. And what that does is it basically allows us to place ladders on it later, but we'll do that later. So now for the ceiling on the first floor, what we're going to do is we're just going to, I like to get slabs because they're less resource heavy, but you can just get blocks and just place them on the ceiling, mimicking the floor, just like this. Alright, so the interior is looking pretty good now. Now we're just going to finish off the top layer and do the exact same thing, which shouldn't take too long. And then we'll get around to decorating the inside with some torches, making it lit up, and then we'll put the finishing touches on the house. Right, so the ceiling is done for here. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop down here, and we're going to get some ladders. So just some normal ladders. Oh, didn't mean to throw that. I guess we'll chuck this away and pick up the ladders. Pick this up. So we're just going to place them over here and up here, and that's pretty much all there is to it. Now I like to use this for like a bedroom. I like to put my bed up here, but you can just put chests up here and keep it as a storage area, though I usually tend to do that down here somewhere. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to take the same stairs that we used for the walls, And we're just gonna plop them here, here, here. Yeah, pretty much anywhere where there's a support beam, and I like to do it here as well because it looks nice. Now what this does, it just gives a bit of depth to the interior. It doesn't make it as flat. And you can do it on the floor as well, but I don't generally tend to do that because it takes up too much room. So what we're going to do now to put the final touches on the house is we're going to torch it up. So we need some torches, obviously, and I personally just put them on every single place that I can where there's a log. It looks good and it lights it up pretty well. Now on the top floor it's a bit of a different story, so what I like to do is I like to just put them here and here. So there we go, it's all torched up and the interior is looking pretty good. Now the final touch on the house, I'm just going to replace this little area here with some stone slabs, because this allows you to set up your house to have a pathway to other houses or other buildings, whatever you want to make in your little survival world or multiplayer world. So I like to just replace that and make a little veranda, and the house is pretty much complete now. So that was my tutorial on my favorite house to build. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like. I'd love to hear you guys comment on what you want to see me create or what you want to see tutorials on. I have a lot of designs for houses. I also have designs for other things like bridges and stuff, and I'm happy to show you guys how to make them if you want. So just leave a comment, leave a like, and that's pretty much it for this video, so I'll see you guys in the next one.